Go live. Well, the computer says it's showtime. And didn't we almost make it this time? Well, hello, everybody. Duval. Let me see if I can go to the top without messing something up. Can't stop walking. Can't stop mowing. Everything that Maria Graham says, Psalm 4, 146. Thank you for hitting the like button on the way in. And yes, this is how I look when I'm in the garden. I just made it. Hello, Mike. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Even though I have Daddy's watch on, woo, I've been so busy this week. I was out there. All of my alarms were set, and I came rushing in the house just now and just in the nick of time. So, how is everybody doing today? Hello, Crafty Leo. Hello, and welcome everybody to GQUAT Gardening, Garden Quilt, and Art Traditions. And thank you for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate everybody who's been here since the beginning. I appreciate everybody who has recently subscribed, and I appreciate everyone in the bushes who was about to subscribe because real friends become family, and what family is everything. You know, I wear a lot of hats, Mike, and because of my glaucoma, the hat helps keep some of the light out of my eyes. So it's a win win situation. And this one has the nerve to be white, but ain't nobody have time to do anything else and run in here. I looked and it said I had 20 seconds to broadcast. I was live, had to get everything ready. Well, I had everything laid out, and I do that ahead of time, but I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm always happy. You guys make my day. I am now looking at the phone to see what I could try, see how much I missed in the beginning. I think I said hello to Duval. And if I miss anybody because I didn't see you, I apologize. But I try to speak to everybody. So, Duval, can't stop walking, but love mowing and cruising. I couldn't remember all those words. Palm 146, Song 146 is listening, working, and in the background. Maria Graham, thank you for coming in. Thank you for moderating. And thank you to everybody. I hope everybody has a good day, and I hope all is well. Maria Graham says it's raining there. We need some of that rain here in Connecticut. That's actually what I was out doing because I was running around this week. I had several, wellness appointments. I had an appearance that I'm excited to tell you guys about. Hello, Martika. Thank you for coming and welcome, 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 welcome. So I know you see this t shirt over here. That was something I was gifted this week. Mike said he has had zero rain, Cy, and 90-degree temperatures. Well, other people, Crafty Leo, I don't know if I said your name, but hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, this is my former lead goat. She was a Saanen, Sanaaan, on the property, and that was her bell. I cleaned it up and brought hello, Irene's Garden and more. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Martika, for loving my go to you know what Hades hat. That's just Auntie Ellen Boucher. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás? Me gusta mucho. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. So, I have had an exciting week. I think I'm loud and clear. If I'm loud and clear, can you put a one in the chat, please? And I appreciate you, Maria Graham, Bouger Prepper, Mike's Chaotic Gardening, for for moderating. You know, I've talked to a couple people, including Maria Graham, and it's difficult at any age, moderating by yourself. I don't mean moderating, talking, trying to present some quality information. Hello, loving me, Tracy Anderson. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So, is everybody's garden okay? Those of you with the 90s, those of you drowning, tell me what state you're in and how the weather is. Thankfully, some of the weather, the rain that's in other parts of the country, will be coming here to Connecticut 6B. And that's interesting. Hello, Urban Garden Chronicles. Just ramble on like you do. Something will stick. Exactly. I actually have something planned, but I'm just waiting until a few more people come in so that I don't leave them out. Maria Graham says her garden is doing great. Psalm 146 is growing a lot of stuff. Are the critters tearing anybody else up? Oh my goodness. Half of the things I grew from seed from February are out there. I saw that little chipmunk. He better be glad I don't have any chipmunk recipes. Not that I know how to dress one, but I did see, she's not here right now, but you know what? I realized that I come on at 4 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon Eastern time. And anybody who's working age, I know that everybody is working, but this is a good time for me when I have energy. Is saying hello to Growing Out the Box. Thank you for coming. Duval says her garden is doing good, but no problems. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about my exciting week. I was invited, as Irene's garden says, they have so much rain that everything is exploding in her part of Zone 7A. Nice. That's nice. I hope we get some rain this weekend. I'm out there with the hose, but there's nothing like God's water. Hello, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner. Thank you for coming and welcome aboard. And everybody who's in the live today, please know so that I don't forget later on that Miss Shirley OG goes on live at 7 p.m. She's a longtime gardener, just like myself, and she's been cooking all of her life, just like some of our OGs. And speaking of that, I will segue into what I've been doing all week. You see, I took down some of the quilts. I love books. Crystal at Whole New Perspective was talking about books. I actually gave away 11 of these bookcases of books when I downsized and moved here, but I gave them to places where there was a shortage of books and they could really use them. I only kept the books that I really, really like. I use as reference books. So there is an event that's been going on in New Haven for years and years and years. I actually first moved to New Haven from other parts of Connecticut. Hello, loving me, Tracy Anderson. If I didn't say hello before, I can take my medicine out and not even remember if I took it sometimes. Sometimes I wake up, it's all melted in my hand because I was so tired. Poor Auntie Nana that she fell asleep before she took it. But there is an international festival of arts and ideas that's been going on in Connecticut on the New Haven Green. And it's one of the biggest art festivals in the United States and certainly one of the biggest outside of New York City. Thank you, Sam. I understand that you'll be in the bushes. And the reason I have these two books out I'm trying to look to see what year they were, but I want to say like 2000 and 2002. I was actually one of the featured artists in the city who was paid to, oh, this one says June 13th to 30th. It's a 2 week festival normally in 2002. And I would walk around, go to different parts of the city and teach different art and crafts techniques, some of the old stuff, old school, and some new things. One of the places I actually taught Bouger Prepper was a place called Casa Otaniel, porque yo hablo español. And I used to give my classes in Spanish over there. And I taught quilting, I taught how to make rugs from cloth, from plarn, how to take gourds and decorate them into bowls, into vases, into birdhouses, just a bunch of stuff. So this week I was invited as one of three guests who were storytellers to the Festival of Arts, and they gave me this lovely t-shirt, Rise, 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 and it's still going on if you happen to be in the area. The festival is from June 10th to June 25th here in New Haven, Connecticut on the Green. Can't stop walking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this year, I'll tell you about the other two artists. One has, oh, and I put a short up this morning. It's not really a short because it was a little bit over 1 minute with Wendy Battles, and who is a curator of a group called um, Reinvention Rebels. And they talk about especially women over 40 who have reinvented themselves through thick and thin. Some of us have had health issues, some of us have changed careers through whatever, through volunteerism, through force, as of myself. Some of you know that I was in a coma 8 years ago and had a traumatic brain injury. Hi, Robyn Murphy. Thank you for coming and welcome. And I have been going on and on and on. I've known Irene for some time. And ella no se sabe que yo hablo español. A lot of people don't. There are other people who think that I'm Dominican because I do speak it fluently. I used to go to a Dominican shop to for many years to get my hair done, and the owner told my daughter, Sonia, you no forget your language. And my daughter looked at her and said, I'm not Spanish. My mother just speaks Spanish, because at the time we both had long hair, and so people thought that we were Dominican. You know, you get those hot dryers and a brush. You can do a lot with a lot of things. So this book by Lisa Franco is really interesting. She is an antique dealer, and she went to a shop, I want to say in New York City. She was the program director at WTNH, one of the radio stations here in New Haven. And after like 8, 9, 10, many years, she was laid off. Then she went to the Heart Association. Hola, Rudy Iraheta. And then she was laid off from there. Well, she went to some antique secondhand stores in New York City, not New York City, in the outskirts around here, and she came across a little box or some type of receptacle, and she looked in it, and there were all these letters from World War II. In fact, on here, I don't know if you can see where one of the letters was postmarked, like my fingers out of the way, like 1945. And it was about a man and a lady that had been writing to each other over the years of the war and talked about their love for each other. Well, he passed first, and then the lady passed, And the family who inherited the house or whatever just, took everything to Goodwill, whatever. They didn't open anything, which is what happened. But I just want to tell most of you that back in the day, including my day, which is still now, thankfully, the people kept their things in old trunks. At that time, a lot of the trunks were made of cedar. So people would just say, oh, okay, Granny's gone. Let's get rid of this old chest with all these old moldy clothes, old quilts, and old things. There's another channel. I don't know, when you're talking and chewing bubble gum at the same time, you can't remember thing. Oh, I bring it every day. And she does a lot of antiquing, going to different stores. So the lady opened this box, and in there were all these like 150 love letters written over several years. So she said she was sitting there like bawling, boohooing, and she thought about it. She went home. She and her husband went back the next day, and they brought all of the letters. She read each one of them, and it took her 3 years to locate the family of the people who were writing the letters to each other. And a lot of them did not even know that the letters had been put into salvage, whatever. Hello, Joanne Stevens, sissy. Thank you for coming. I love you. Hello, I'm saying GQUAT. Hello, T Nog, the New Orleans Garden. Thank you for coming, and welcome. Thank all of you, because real friends become family, and family is everything. Oh, T Nog, we rock these hats. I just usually don't have time to put one on before I come in. So that is one of the people that I was on the panel with at the Festival of Arts and Ideas this week. But while I was prepping for the festival, I was looking at some old information, and I came across this newspaper. This newspaper is called the Warren County Record, from Warrenton, North Carolina, and it's dated November 16th, 2011. Well, why does anybody care about that? Nobody does, except, like, most newspapers, this is the headline, and the next part is an article about Auntie Ellen. GQUAT, garden quilt and art traditions. And would you guys like me to read it to you? Put a two in the chat if you like me to read it to you, because it talks about me transitioning from city life to country life. And, for a little country paper, this newspaper, the town was 12 miles away from where the homestead was in North Carolina, and the town only had 800 people. Laminated. Um, I will, my mom just gave me this one, and my granddaughter had a copy of it. Okay, so it says, it's by Lucy Weldon, assistant editor, and she saw some of my artwork at one of the little city fairs, like they have the markets and whatnot. So I took a couple of my things into town, and she saw them and admired them and came out to the property. For mixed media artist Ellen Pankey, who lives near Warrenton, 12 miles near, extra fabric, scraps of wood, and even feed sacks are not trash. She transforms these items and other everyday objects into craft projects as part of her no waste lifestyle. I have so much fun, Ellen said. Before I throw something away, I ask myself if there is some way I can use it. The former adjunct professor at the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut, yeah, that would be me, began quilting some time ago when she was faced with the dilemma of what to give people who seemed to have everything. I wanted to give something I made with my own hands, Panky said. Quilting developed into a hobby while she worked professionally, and the quilting grew into her many crafting passions. I do a lot of crafts, almost anything you name, I can do it. After she retired to Warren County to live on a property she has owned for 30 years. That's where the homesteading comes into, you guys. We bought that property off grid, raw land, no well, no sewer, no septic tank, just woods for 200 years, giant trees. We actually borrowed my dad's John Deere lawnmower to help clear some of it. Then we had to hire bigger lawnmowers to to clear other areas. Penke converted the upper level of her home into a 1,500 square foot studio. A long arm quilting machine and frame take up a portion of her workspace, along with several sewing machines. I only had 35 at the time. Hello, Uniform Lady Tech. But don't worry, I don't have them anymore. I'm down to six here. I don't know. There are a few at Auntie Joanne's place. A few, probably as many there. And a long table in another area of the studio provides the perfect space for spreading out craft projects. Along the walls are examples of her creative recycling. An old shoe rack serves as a thread holder. Old suitcases are transformed into cabinets, and a container that had been used for shipping ammunition, I don't know if I can say that word, now holds cut fabric. Penke used leftover materials to construct a design wall where she plans future projects. Hello, everybody. If I missed anybody who's come in when I was reading, she never wastes quilting fabric and saves 2.5-inch squares of fabric. Penke has used 2,440 of such leftovers to make a full size quilt. That's one that I've shown in videos, but I don't have it here because my mom came down that summer and she passed me 2.5-inch blocks, two at a time. We sat at the dining room table so she wouldn't have to go up and down the stairs to the studio. And we put this quilt together, and it was my colors, purple and tan. And then at the end of it, mommy said, "Oh, I think I like that." So I gave it to my mom for her 80th birthday. If you're listening, mom, I won't tell them how old you are now. I won't. I'm not getting my chops busted. So if fabric scraps are too narrow to be cut into 2.5-inch squares, Panky cuts them into smaller strips and crochets them into rag rugs. Scrap fabric is also ideal for making pot holders. Panky loves beading and making jewelry, including her own interpretation of the popular feather earrings. She raises chickens, ducks, goats, and Cane Corso Italian Mastiffs in her yard. When any of her colorful chickens loses feathers, Panky saves them and uses them in her earring designs. She uses leftover feed sacks to make totes. As fast as I can market them, people buy them, Panky said. She used to work at the International Festival of Arts and Ideas in Connecticut and would teach people how to make things with gourds, among other crafting ideas. At least you guys know I wasn't telling the little white ones. I was telling you the truth about that. Today, she still keeps a supply of gourds on hand for various projects. Penke is also taking a cabinet making class. I didn't talk to you about that part, but I've refurbished a couple antique sewing machines and took wood and did all the stuff to it and made them into bottoms and cabinets for my some of my sewing machines. She plans to transform leftover wood from class into ladders for her chickens. Yeah, I made my own ladders for my chicken coops. Her yard is also a study in recycling. Panky's dogs chewed holes in their dog houses, so they became goat houses. a child slide became a perfect play area for the goats. Pinky puts her 17 chickens in the garden to eat bugs. Her four goats would stay in the same area, clean out weeds without the use of chemicals. Back in her studio, interesting items go into a box designated for UFOs, unfinished objects. When Pinky looks for fabrics, she develops ideas for using them. While Pinky's list of what she can make from everyday objects goes on and on, she also enjoys sharing her love of quilting with others. She is a member of the board of directors of the Carolina Longarm Association, which will be holding a major quilt show in 2012. Pinky's work will appear at the Jacob Holt House in Warrenton as part of the Heritage Quilters next semi annual show. She offers private lessons for individuals and groups. For more information, call somebody else because Auntie's not working that hard anymore. So, what do you guys think about that? No comments, everybody? Did everybody go to sleep? Did I get cut off? Are you still there? Okay. So, my allergies are acting up. I don't know what's going on with the phone. I don't know. Are you? Oh, Maria Graham says you guys are there. Hey, OG Pride fan, Rainbow Open. So thank you for listening. And I guess somebody's message was held for review. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Somebody was trying to look at one of my posts. Crafty Leo says that was lovely. Love the write up about you. So no more lessons. Huh, LOL. What is this? Is this chopped meat? In fact, we're getting ready to do some lessons today, which I want to bring up. Which I want to bring up. But before I do that, it might be you too. Hey, Jay and April, African Dreaming. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. You just missed the story of my whole life. I actually had written proof that Auntie Ellen's not telling little mentiras. That means lies. I wasn't allowed to say that word growing up, but it means it's not telling the truth. You do it all. I want to be like you when I grow up. No, you don't. And I don't do it all. I do as much as I can, and I do the things that make me happy. But one of the things I do so that you get to be my age, in spite of all the health setbacks I've had, one of the things I talked about was recovering from a coma or a traumatic brain injury. The first time somebody handed me a pen, I looked at it. I didn't know whether I was supposed to eat it or what to do with it. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I had to do everything all over again. Good Eats Homestead, hello. But when I started physical therapy, I had to see actually psychiatric therapy, and I still do every Tuesday, 11 a.m. sharp. That's why you guys don't see me. I am getting therapy because one of the things that held me back initially in going live was dealing with the fact that my face is no longer the same as it used to be. And I have all these titanium plates and screws holding my face together. Not only did it burn up most of my money, insurance, and whatnot, but I'm fine. I'm fine. And hello, Essayons. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Brampton Gardner, thank you. I'm glad to hear that you're sewing, even though you can't chat. So I still exercise every day. I do some of the things I do. I think Whole New Perspective has a new challenge out where you eat certain things. I already do most of those things, but having made it back from the other side, so to speak, I figured that if I want to have a drink of wine on Wednesday, I will. I don't drink sodas. I don't do most of the things. I exercise a lot. This is one of my custom fitted bands I have for those of you who do yoga. Hello? Did I just say Odom? Maybe not. Maybe somebody has spoke. But one of the things I do for stretching are these yoga bands. For those of you who have difficulty stretching or whatnot, or want to stretch even harder, you can buy these on Amazon, and they have different letters, and they tell you where to put your hands, where to put your feet to get a really really good stretch. Good Eat said, I went and got her package today. She's going to open it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sapphire. She says, my story is so inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. And that's why I'm on YouTube. I'm not trying to get rich. The more you have, the more you spend. I don't even want to have to worry about budgeting. Hi, K. Renee's Garden. Thank you for coming and welcome. So that being said, I have to get a tissue with not without knocking my tissue my computer over. So all of you within the sound of my voice, I would like to issue a challenge. One of the things that I did when I was recovering from a coma, I went to the senior center and I took Tai Chi. That really helps with your balance at any age. But also at the senior center, they had arts and craft classes. I had moved from North Carolina back to Connecticut and was staying with the family at mom's house, and the family refused to let me go to a nursing home or any type of care center. They took care of me. I couldn't go up and down the steps. They brought my meals up and down on trays. A half hour later, they would come and get it. My great grandson is so cute. He was learning how to read at the time. He was about 6 or 7, and he was supposed to read out loud every day for 15 minutes. So he would come in my bedroom and get on my bed, and he would read to me for half an hour. And then this little guy would give me tests. He would ask me questions to see if I understood when he was reading, or what he was reading, to see if I understood like the English language and what was going on. And then one day, his little important self came in and he gave me 100 math questions. Some of you might have heard this story, like 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3. And hello, Butter Roll. Thank you for coming and welcome, everyone. And I had to finish 100 questions in 60 seconds, 1 minute. So I gave it to him and he checked them all. And he was so shocked that they were correct, because all he knew was that I was his nana. And he was shocked. I said, you know what, Cam? I'm not just your nana, your great grandmother. I actually went to school for a long time. I have a lot of education. I know a lot of stuff. Anything you ever need to know about what's going on, whatever, I might not remember all the details, but I can tell you how I learned how to do it. So, without further ado, I want to issue a challenge to each of you. I'm getting ready to go over to my little crafting work area, and I would like to challenge each one of you to paint a rock. One of the things that my mother and I did when she used to drive me to the senior center for my Tai Chi and for my arts and craft, because I couldn't drive myself then, I was legally blind. And now I can see perfectly with one eye, but I'm totally blind with the other. And my mom would sit there with her perfect little manicure. And my mom doesn't like to get her hands dirty. She would be there so dainty, painting, and we had so much fun painting. So last week and over the weekend, I did some basic like rock painting. And I would like to challenge each one of you to paint a rock, put it in your garden or share it with somebody, and hashtag paint rocks 2023. Then I would like you to challenge somebody else, at least two or three other people. Many of you have children, grandchildren. This is a family participation type thing. Yankee's sister, I don't think, is here. She might be in the bushes. She called me earlier today and I asked for her permission to share a story. She was telling me about a painted rock that's in her garden. I'm going to try to get through it without crying. Hello, Juicing with Jay. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing my video this morning about the Arts and Craft Festival. Brampton said she painted rocks several years ago and used them as pattern weights. Those are great ideas, and many of you have painted rocks before. The Yankee sister said when her mom was in a rehab or a nursing home, at the nursing home they painted rocks. Thank you, Butter Roll Boutique. Paint 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 ROCKS 2023 hashtag paint rocks 2023. And maybe I can try to, oops, well, I had to drop one thing, right? Wouldn't be Auntie Ellen. PAINTROCKS 2023 and share it with everything. I have a camera system here, and when the bell rang, it says that it recorded a noise. So it keeps telling me that somebody's message is held for review. I don't know why, but maybe they'll release it later on. So, does anybody have any question? I'm sure everybody can find a rock, and this is going to be so much fun. Hello, Lashes, and thank you for coming. Welcome. Whoops. Thank you. This will be the last ringing of my goat bell because we are going to walk over to my craft area. And I had a painting rock splurge this week. I did not, I was going to finish it with Mod Podge. That's a type of finishing for different arts and crafts. But then I didn't feel like waiting for it to dry out. So I ordered some type of spray paint finish, and I'll take it outside and paint it and it'll dry quickly and I will show you guys. So I have all these rocks that I took out of the garden and I will show you. It was so much fun, and I would love to see. Actually, Gina versus Gina painted some rocks while we were live last Thursday, and she posted a short on there. Look at her video. And David Corey with Crops painted some rocks. And it's just anything you want to do. There's no right or wrong. So well, how about this? Why don't I get myself up first and then pick up the computer, right? Okay. So I left everything down low because Auntie has been busy. Oh, guess what? When I was giving the talk this week at the Festival of Arts and Ideas, I took one. They wanted me to bring a sample of a quilt, Well, nobody can walk downtown on the green, at least not me at my age, with a whole big bed quilt. So I took the little art quilt that I was working on, Miss Mignon, and I showed that. And I took one of my rocks that was painted like a strawberry. Why do you paint strawberries? You can buy them online. You can buy them online, but why buy them online? They're free all over your yard if you're gardening in ground. Don't look at my nails. I've been outside digging in the ground with them. And I have to touch the soil. I can't do everything with gloves on. Something especially messy, I will. But here is a rock, and there's no such thing as perfect. There's another one. You know, strawberries you grow in your yard don't look like the ones in the store that are perfectly perfect. They look like everything. They're all kinds of shapes. So this one is a strawberry that got, I guess, too much 511, and it's living happily ever after and didn't get picked. This one is like really odd shaped. I don't know if you can see all the crooks and crevices. It doesn't matter. This is a decoy to keep the critters, squirrels, whatever, from stealing your food. Stealing your food. I even have one. Check this out. I painted, why does it say egg? So that people will know what it's for. And when I had the chickens, hello, Stacy Hands in the Dirt. Thank you for coming. And welcome, 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 welcome. I put this in with my chickens, number one, to encourage them to lay. And then, secondly, if some snake or other thing decides to eat a chicken or an egg, they'll swallow this and whatever. So they can steal these, Mike. And you know what? You don't have a little yard. I saw your yard, and it looks very nice. It looks very nice. I saw it in the bushes today, but I didn't have a chance to go back and comment. And then this was a cute little rock. It was tiny, natural colored. So I just put a little purple butterfly in the sun on it. And in the back, I put Nana to give to one of my children, one of my great grandchildren. And I don't know if you've heard of worry rocks or whatever, but in the beginning stages of my therapy, when I was recovering from a coma, I meant to bring that rock out here. My therapist gave me a rock to hold on to. I had a medical procedure last week, and it was a little bit painful. And the doctor asked me, "Do you want something to hold on to?" I said, "No, I'm going to be a big girl. I'll just hold on to my t shirts." I balled up my t shirt and held on to that. But I just want to show you some ideas for painting your rocks. This one, I simply painted blue. I like blue and purple. I put GQUAT on it, and I put some little stars on it. And that's it. Garden quilt and art traditions. Your squirrel can't steal this, Mike. Can't steal that. Then I painted one because I like black, and I put on it Vini, Vidi, Vici, or in Latin they say Weenie, Weedy, Weechi. Hello, Nikki. The everyday life of an OCD is shit. But Vini, Vidi, Vici is what Julius Caesar is supposed to have said as he entered the gates of Rome to capture it. And this was one of my sayings growing up. I came, I saw, and I conquered. This is just some ideas for rock painting for your challenge. And then this is one. It was all beat up and ugly looking, had marks on it. So I just put GQuat on it and painted my three little purple hearts that are part of my signature. This one, I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas. I just had a rock painting time after you guys left. So this one is supposed to be a ladybug. A ladybug. She's not perfectly painted, where I picked her up and turned her around. But guess what? It's just fun. It's just fun. It's not that serious. This is one I was just painting a bunch of colors. And then we all know who calls people farmers. So I made a rock that said Farmer GQUAT. It's going out in my garden. Here's a rock. I just loved the pretty sparkly colors. And when I laminate it, it will be pretty. Mike's laughing at the I guess the farmer. Your fave too, Brampton. Suck it up, Buttercup. I actually have one. I couldn't do a Buttercup, but I'll show you what it is. And it just says Nana. I'll probably give them to my great grandchildren. Two of my great granddaughters just graduated from high school last week. And one of them, the 19-year-old, just bought her first new car. She's been working part time and going to school for the last couple of years. And this young lady bought her own first new car yesterday. Nikki says, shout out to farmers all over the world. Oh, and guess what? Farmer Auntie Ellen, my one sugar baby watermelon, had the nerve to bite the dust. So I'll just direct sew one. Tia Ellen has put out, oh yes, a paint rocks challenge for everybody to paint a rock and just share it and show it to each other. It's fun. Hello, Robyn Murphy. Thank you for coming and welcome. This is just a picture of a carrot. The rock was ugly, all beat up, so I just painted it battleship gray. This one was one I was painting, testing paint colors. So I just put some pink around it, like almost a flower, just something. Somebody was talking about pucker up Buttercup. So this one says sun. I don't know. I might paint a sun on it in orange, but actually this rock was kind of difficult to cover with yellow paint. So I may do something more to it. And this one is my motto: live, love, laugh. And I put Sissy on the back of it because it will probably end up in Arizona at the family garden there at Joanne Stevens' house, where I go over there and bogart stuff with my guerrilla gardening style. Live, love, and laugh. Then here is a rock. It's purple, my favorite color. It might look black on camera. I thought that I would give to my mom. Hands in the dirt. Stacy says, I used to go to a restaurant here called Vini Vidi Vici. Yes, yes. We need sun. Oh, you went to work, Sissy. I did. I opened up a can of this. I had paint everywhere, everywhere. And this one is for mommy. My mother used to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to us when we were kids in Latin. And then she would tell us ego amo te. That means I love you in Latin. And my dad, before he passed, always called me, he never called me Ellen a day in my life. And the rest of the family calls me Penny. But daddy always called me Pen Pen. So I put this on there. And I'll put it on mommy's nightstand in case she gets lonely. Bouger Prepper says, hello, Auntie Joanne Stevens. So, what do you guys think? How many of you, she's going to love that rock. Yes, I'll put it on her nightstand. I'm going the first Sunday in July. I'm already packing stuff up in the car to take. So, going to bring seeds to Arizona. Mike, there's seeds already there. They're already in the freezer. They're just waiting for these beat up fingers to go and put them in all that mess I made. Hands in the Dirt says the strawberry rocks are nice. Yes, anybody, and it's something that anybody can do. Stacy, I didn't get on last night. I was so tired from walking downtown and around the festival area. And but so I saw your daughter. Your daughter is beautiful. She looks just like you. She just not saying you're beautiful. You a dude. There's no pretty guys, but she does look like you. She does look like you. So, how many people are going to promise me that you are going? Oh, even Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe are going to Paint a Rock. Good Eats Homestead. Thank you for coming and welcome. Put I need to paint a deer and a rabbit rock. You saw a rabbit and a fawn in your yard yesterday. No, what you need to paint is a Mossberg. That's what you need to put. With cocked, I might say. You're pretty, Mike. You won't show your face. You won't show your face. So Maria Graham said she will. Okay, Sissy Joanne Stevens and Uncle Roscoe, who's listening there in the bushes. He doesn't type, but even he's enjoying this rock painting stuff. When I'm in Arizona, we go to a lot of art shows, different art places. I usually take a staycation for about a month. They have to put up with me. Oh, so Joanne Stevens says she accepts the challenge. Stay tuned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So who else? I is beautiful. Hands in the dirt. You are. You're a handsome guy. All jokes aside. All jokes aside. You are. Paint your face, Mikey. Okay, so you guys are going to start being mean, huh? Urban Garden Chronicles said find a rock, maybe the one that she threw in the neighbor's window. Mike's probably famous and he's playing it cool, right? Probably loaded, the man that used to walk my dog, I have a 10-pound little service dog, Good Eats. I think GQUAT just challenged you, Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Okay, thank you. Paint a rock. Yes, yes. Ring a ling a ling a ling a ling. I knew you guys would not let me down. And gardening with Bernie, I know she's working today, but she made a suggestion maybe 6 months ago when I first went live to do a challenge, and it was to send Flat Stanley around with seeds. Every time thank you, Hands in the Dirt, he will paint a rock. I know Nikki and them kids are going to paint a rock in honor of Auntie Ellen. And we could exchange rocks with each other and put them in the garden. I want to try to think of something else to do. I can't afford to pay everybody to paint a rock, but I just think it would be fun. I've been to nurseries where they have rock gardens where all these rocks, for example, but actually bigger, might be spread out in an area. Or people go and paint rocks and leave them for other people. Yankee sister, her grandkids are having a dance recital about a mile. Oh my gosh. Nikki said somebody paint some pretty feet for David. I might take that challenge and maybe put some corns on them and stuff, and I will pay to mail those to his behind. More expensive to ship. No, because if I'm sending something anyway, and these are tiny rocks, I use the flat shipping boxes, and a little box this big was $11. I want to get my money's worth. I don't mind throwing a couple rocks in there. In fact, I need to send G Mama Grows moderator gift this year, and I mean this week I will probably put a rock in it and some more stuff. Auntie Joanne Stevens will tell you that when I get a box, I have so much stuff stuck in it. Bad body, not so fit. You're probably fit. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome aboard the GQuat family reunion bus. Nikki and her daughter will paint some things. That'll be great. Oh, I mailed your seeds Tuesday. If I hadn't said it, Auntie. This Auntie? Oh, thank you. I don't even know what I'm getting next. Thank you. But I've been managing to kill a lot of stuff out there. Maybe that's why I wasn't on Hands in the Dirt last night. And I've had problem with the squirrels and the chipmunks for years, and I know it now. Guess what? The chipmunks are out there in line taking stuff. Oh, Nikki, I know that you're going to be doing it, but this is just fun and something to share and something to do with other people. And guess what? I hope we stay here forever and ever. How old was Methuselah in the Bible? 860 years old, something, something. Well, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I did want the Minnesota midgets. I did. I did. I had the nerve to buy a small watermelon from the farmer's market a couple of weeks ago, and I was going to save the seeds. Well, it was a little heavier than normal, and I have a helper, so I was being trifling and going to wait for Auntie Joanne says Auntie Ellen knows how to pack a box, a truck, and a room. Yeah, I packed some trucks and driven them from point A to point B. To that point, I drove a 25-foot truck by myself in 1997 from the Los Angeles, California area to Connecticut by myself. I think the truck was supposed to have 15,000 pounds in it. Well, when I finally went over a scale, it was like about 50, 45, 55,000 pounds. And I mean, I didn't pack it personally myself, but I had others helping me, and it had bad brakes. It took me 10 days to drive that truck, well, like 35, 3,600 miles. And I could only drive it like from 6 in the morning until 6 at night. And then I would go to a hotel. So I was telling you about some fabulous story before that. K Renee's Garden says, hello, Joanne, Bouger Prepper at Mike's Chaotic Gardening. So Mike, oh, Kay Renee just found 10 rocks. You can bum some paint from her son. Oh, this is going to be so much fun, you guys. I can't wait to look them up. I can't wait to see them. As a matter of fact, I might even get some like slightly bigger rocks to put in my little homeless cart and bring inside. So, later on, you guys, I'm going to stay on until 5, but Odom goes on, and hello, Queen E. I really enjoy your channel. So much wisdom. Hearing your journey is amazing. I just signed up for your first Tai Chi class. That is the best thing. When I used to fall a lot, and I took some pretty hard falls when I first started walking again. But Tai Chi is what got my balance together. And then later on, like around here, I can take chair Tai Chi, but I didn't like the chair Tai Chi, like the Tai Chi walk. If you can't do anything else, moving your arms and going back and forth, it was something else. I don't know. Some of you guys know. Yeah, the truck did have problems, Sissy Joanne Stevens. In fact, when I got to Connecticut, I went to the the dealership where I was supposed to turn it in, and I told them, they charged me X amount of dollars for the insurance for that time. Butterroll Boutique is looking forward to painting rocks. Me too. And I told them, I'm not turning the truck in. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll make you a deal. You give me all my money back for my insurance, or I'm going to take this truck to DMV in inspection and have it inspected, because this truck was not fit for anybody to drive across town, let alone along across country. Auntie Ellen, you still need to make that clock. I will go to Michael's or the Home Depot store to find something to mount it on. Just find an old piece of wood outside. Hello, Gina. Gina, your ears must be burning, darling. And all these rocks here, Auntie Girl has painted, and I've issued a rock challenge, hashtag paint rocks 2023. It's up further in the chat. Oh, and don't forget, those of you who have chickens, don't forget to put some rocks out there for those black snakes to eat instead of your your chickens or your eggs. Hey, Erica, my five fly family. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. My bell is over. Oh, no, here it is. For everybody came to the GQUAT family reunion bus. Thank you so much. I enjoy seeing your family, Erica. Uh, your kids when they're on. And by the way, when my son was your children's age, that's that's when he became a professional target pew pewer. My son, my son is a ninja. He really is. He really is. You're looking for something to think outside the box? Yes, paint rocks, everybody. Well, again, I just want to reiterate that Miss Shirley, the OG Gardener, goes live today at 7 o'clock. Please support her channel. She's trying to get some hours. Odom and Jegs, J3, goes live later on. And I'm looking forward to you guys participating in the Paint Rocks. We're putting 2023 because we are going to be painting rocks in our garden from now on. Got to do something with those things. If nothing else, you can throw them at a squirrel, a deer. Oh, by the way, I was in the park next door one morning and I'm blind on my left side. I felt like a brush of wind go by me. Two deer almost knocked me down. When grandma almost got run over by a reindeer. So, everybody, thank you for coming. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please share the what kind of paint, Maria Graham, acrylic paint. It could be liquid, it could be paste. Go over the video from last week. I showed different kinds of paint. You can use markers. Okay, so here are some paste paints. Here are bottles of paint. These are thin. These are easy to paint, but you might have to put more than one coat on it because it's thin. I use any kind of brush that I want. I was going to put Mod Podge to seal them, but you can use whatever you want. And I'm not advertising any brand, any type of marker that you want. Use an oil marker and it will stay longer. So one last thing. Remember the paints that I had left over last week from painting the rocks? This is what it looks like, and I'm going to put an I love you sign for one of my great granddaughters. Peace, love, and blessings, everyone. Mommy, if you're in the bushes, I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good day, everybody.